Hello, my name is Ben, and welcome to Project B. Now, you're probably thinking, hey Ben, why is it called Project B? Well, it's pretty complicated, so I'm not going to get into it here, but it's just a placeholder name. And now you're thinking, hey Ben, what is Project B? Well, I'm glad you asked. So Project B is basically a combination of Civilization and Total War. Okay, you got it? I mean, that's the game. I mean, I don't know how else to explain. So when I say the game is like Total War, I mean, there's a broader world map where you move around your armies, and whenever there's a battle, you go into a special battle map with actual units that fight out the battle. When I say the game is like Civ, really I'm just referring to the fact that the broader world map is hexagonal in nature. Project B is a simultaneous turn-based game at both the campaign and battle levels. All of the actions that a player wants to perform on their turn are queued up and do not actually happen until all players have ended their turns. At this point, the game enters simulation mode, where all of the orders are carried out at the same time. On a given turn at the campaign level, you have a certain number of command points. With a command point, you can do a few things. You can give an army orders, perform research, or perform a building action, such as building units, or causing a regional blackout. The next segment, Lore, is brought to you in part by The Apocalypse. The Apocalypse. When you don't want to animate humans, we're here for you. Now, the game is set in a post-apocalyptic world where the only trace of human civilization is the automation left behind, and the remaining drones are locked in a never-ending war. The drones are only capable of using existing infrastructure. This feeds back into gameplay and means that players will not be able to construct new buildings. They must make use of whatever already exists. Currently there are 4 different types of buildings, just enough to cover the core gameplay loop, but I plan on adding more in the future. At this point I want to show off the early days of the project, and in order to do that, I've made this here time machine app. Let's get started. Now we only have to go back about 3 years, so it shouldn't take too long, and stop. Stop. Oh man, this can't be. Where am I? Am I dreaming? I've been working on this video for so long, No, it can't be. Not this game. No! I started using version control in 2017, but this project started a year or so earlier. I was initially trying to create some kind of battle simulator with minimal player input. The player would have no controls once the battle starts. That meant that all of the orders would have to be given at the beginning, and the player could set up these detection and reaction mechanisms that would change how their units moved over the course of the battle. Another thing to note at this early stage is that when units are destroyed, their parts would remain on the battlefield as physics objects. Now I kept this up right until I added multiplayer, when I realized syncing these objects across the network would be more effort than it was worth. In the end, I decided to ditch the pre-battle setup system because it was going to be hard for the player to use, and there were going to be scenarios where the player units would never find each other. This is now about a year or so later, and the next thing I started working on was the map. Here I've added road networks, random cube buildings, and cliff obstacles. Now, I really liked how the layout of the buildings and roads looked here, but in reality they sort of got in the way of the gameplay. I had to significantly change how the buildings were generated, and space out the roads more, which is what you see in the current version of the game. The waypoint system has also been updated to more closely resemble the latest version in the game. Now, towards the end of 2018, I sort of decided that I wanted this to have a more real terrain system rather than just a flat map. I don't want to go into that conversion process here. Having this terrain map was actually quite complicated, but in the future maybe I'll do a video or a segment on it. Once I had converted the battle map, I decided to create a campaign map. I enjoyed the battles, but I felt like they needed to be part of a bigger picture. It's pretty easy to see the similarities between this version of the campaign map and the latest. Most of the changes to the campaign map have been minor improvements since this point. So where am I going with this? Well, I'd like to finish this game and put it on a platform, probably Steam, but we'll see. I've worked on quite a few projects in the past, and I've never fully completed any. Given the amount of time and effort I've put into this one though so far, I'm pretty motivated to keep working on it. I kept this video intentionally broad to not spoil the mechanics of the game. As I make more of these devlogs, I'll explain the mechanics that I work on, or are related to what I'm working on. In terms of frequency, I think I'll make these videos every 1 or 2 months. I spent a lot of time on this one and I don't want the devlogs to interfere with development too much. I also want to try and keep these videos entertaining, which is part of the reason for the low frequency. In any case, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, or, do whatever you want. Because, I'm not parents, I can't really tell you what to do. And we're live. Hello, my name is Ben. Didn't like that one. Hello, my name is Ben. And this is... Hello. Oh my gosh. Why is this so hard? I'm not even... Okay.